All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, however, whatever time zone you guys are all up in. Today, in this video, I wanted to go ahead and express my demographic thoughts on why I think American leaders today are trying to and are still implicating the same rules that were applied in the 1700s for our right now and for tomorrow. Let's go ahead and start up by putting our collective thoughts towards how America was brought up in the first place. George Washington, his European and Spanish settlers, and the slaves he had brought onto soil that had already been claimed by the Native Americans previously. Washington never sought peace but had already been studying and planning the takeover of the land and all of its treasured resources, and at the time, to break away from Europe. White European settlers started forging bases and setting up camps where the natives were already colonized, and by doing so, effectively pushing them off their own lands. The worst thing about this, they already had peace deals, peace treaties up to keep them away from their borders and their colonized land. Those peace treaties were never met, and the treaty was broken in less than half a decade, which made it even crazier. Even after giving them everything, they still wanted to feel that they needed to take more. To say European and Spanish settlers from across the waters weren't pirates, tyrants, and have had little to do with the current American influence of capitalism, you're in for a very rude awakening because that's what this whole system is built upon. Schools in America today have all been collectively been taught that America's first leaders were pioneers, founding fathers of the time, and today we still follow the Constitution and are taught about it. The American lawmakers' entire manuscripts have been to follow what the first leaders were doing, and if you're like me, documents and moral ethics spanning over 300 years seem a bit outdated and needs a broader shift, in my opinion, into the current world since the pacing of everyone's time is completely different. Hence why it feels as America is stagnant when it comes to world leaders' decision making with trade routes and where our tax dollars go towards. The ones sitting in Congress that are living in 100 plus, I don't see anything wrong with this current system, unless you're Bernie Sanders. With how the current laws are conducted into American ethics, that is a very big problem. And if the ones that make and provide our laws for today are still following the pirates that have shaped America into this situation, but happen through a trickling effect, a span of accumulative stealing and empty promises are what's gonna be our future coming down forward. We need to go ahead and be asking ourselves, what can be done about this? Like, genuine. It's obvious and abundant they have no plans on rearranging the rules and laws. Current America is like watching any billionaire reshape and twist somebody else's ideas into their own. And again, this is America's model. It has always been since the 1700s. That's why this video is even here brought in the first place. And they steal and claim the ideas as yours. And we have seen it with Thomas Edison and Tesla. We've seen it with Chris Hughes from Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg. We've seen it with Jeff Bezos literally already having money to invest and take someone else's idea and brand it onto his own to make him multi-billions. Elon today is the perfect example of idea stealing and then seeing profit margins that outweigh every normal American salary cap at the end of one of his days. This should never be an issue, yet it is, and we are the Gen Zers and Gen Xers that have to deal with this broken economy. Boomers, they won't be around in the future to see the chaos and destruction they left behind. I'm sure they aren't worried about that either, but we should be. We 100% should be. The problem never seemed to fix it. In my mind, how the current world demographics are ran, where the American leaders' headspaces are at when thinking about the people that shaped this country, everyone wants to point fingers at a certain race or ethnicity group, but never has the gut to point at the ones stealing your kid's future. They've stolen your free time as an aged adult. Everything costs more because of the rates and speed things are being produced at. It makes it near impossible to balance out the inflation and the speed at which life is going at. It is as if they succeeded in the heist of keeping people in a slave-induced state, just like in the 17 and 1800s, where anything offered to you will have you questioning your moral values, but what other choice is there when the entire economy has leaned on its one branch for so long? The weight's starting to give, and that's all I wanted to go ahead and get you guys' thoughts and opinions on the matter, kind of see where everyone's stance on this whole situation currently is. With only a few corporations that have majority of the share in most businesses ran in America, this is a trickling effect. This is a reoccurring effect. This is not going to slow down in the future unless we do something about it. Do you guys think we are being led down false dystopians with AI? Are they just trapping us into modern day slavery? Let me go ahead and know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.